Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Monday, November the 25th, 2024. Well, at the start of a holiday-shortened week, the markets actually gapped higher yesterday at Globex when Globex opened and remained higher pretty much up until just after the opening today. And both the S&P and the NASDAQ both appeared to follow through on what I had presented by changing my account, that we remain within the minute fourth wave correction, and that we had wave A, and I made a slight adjustment to wave A here in the NASDAQ, putting it down at the November 19th low at 20,382. Before I'd had it on the 15th low. So I just moved it over, put the A there, and it still comes in as an ABC down. And then we had A, and this is a wild and bizarre B, but I'm going to leave it as a B. And then we had an ugly but doable C wave. So I can say that we've had an A, B, C up and put a B there. Now, this has been very difficult. Don't get me wrong. This is an hourly chart, and you're looking at this going like, what? But what is apparent is the three-wave nature of just about everything that's taken place off of the November 11th high. So that after that initial impulsive move, we've had nothing but corrective structures. And I think that we might get an impulsive move down, but it's going to be in a corrective nature because, in my view, it's a C wave down to complete this fourth wave. Now, if you listen and you go by what everybody talks about and what the media wants to talk about is the nominee for the Secretary of the Treasury. And I think it's worth talking about because, again, there's been a lot of concern of what's going to happen to the economy, what's going to happen to that all kinds of things that are related to the economy, but the running, the money, and what happens to a lot of different departments within our government. Are they going to continue to be funded, et cetera? So the actual operation of the government is done through the Treasury Department, and they pay all the bills, and they collect all the money through various agencies like the IRS, Small Business Administration. We have all these different facets of what goes on behind a bunch of closed doors in these buildings. But this nominee is the CIO of a hedge fund. So take a deep breath, take a deep sigh, and breath and sigh it out, because the guy's a trader. He's the chief investment officer. So, and I would say a large hedge fund. So it's like, okay, so what are we doing? We're trading. So he is coming from Wall Street. And so, but I can't say, I think that the Treasury will be okay, will be safe. So I don't think that something stupid is going to happen by somebody who doesn't have an understanding, because it's all trading and it's interest rates and it's how it's affected and it's trade and it's money. And that's Wall Street. That's Wall Street. That's big bank and hedge funds and all the rest of the good stuff. So I think that, yes, he is being applauded, welcomed from Wall Street via, boom, giving us that bump that we got overnight with the opening of Globex. Now, what then came out of that is not necessarily something negative against this person. I think that vote is still out there and it's solid. It's like, yeah, come on in. The rest is trading. So going back, having said what I said, I again, and also the people that are riding on the coattails saying, it's like, well, the Trump administration is going to be great for the economy. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And this is going to happen. It's like, that's all conjecture, folks. I'm really needing to stick to the technical picture of what the market is kind of telling me right now. And right now, the market's telling me that we need to go down. We don't need to go down severely, but we may go down quickly but we're looking at a C wave. All C waves are 5. So what have we done today? There's a possibility that we did 1, 2, or maybe 2 has a little bit more to go, but 1, 2, and then we hit a 3 and a 4 and a 5. All we need to do is get below 20,415. Put in, well, actually, yeah, that's 20,382, excuse me. 20,382. That's where we need to come under. And if we get this C wave done, we have 0.382 support. That's for the minute wave 4, which is what we're in. There's 3. We're looking for 4. 382, perfect, 20,282. We need to get below 382. Okay, 100 points. All right. Or any portion thereof, let's say. That puts in the C wave, and then again, we turn around and we go, clap, look who's going to be Secretary of the Treasury, or whatever they come up with next. But understand that what I really see happening is technically what we've been talking about. This is year end. Year end now posturing. What are you going to keep? What are you not going to keep? What's going to fly? What's not going to fly? So we have everybody in hedge funds and everything else. We're doing their analysis and doing what they believe is going to come in 2025. What do we need to do? What are we protecting? What are we getting rid of? What will the effect be on these different policies that are likely going to be put in place? Who better to kind of decide all that good stuff but the CIO of a hedge fund? So I'm willing to kind of wait and just follow along. But in that process, get this. This morning I came in and I'm looking at my screens. I'm like, wow, look at Netflix. Netflix was trading over 900. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty bold move. Not that Netflix is a bad company because they're putting out a lot of content, right? They're a streaming service and they're a studio and they're producers. So yeah, they need to make money. And they do make money. But at one point it was like, okay, ring the bell, 902. Stock ends down $32 on the day. So I think that it was something that kind of got up there for whatever reason, and it triggered a lot of other fund managers who were looking to make an adjustment to a portfolio and sell maybe part of their position in Netflix. Or somebody out there kind of went, I'm out. That's high enough for me. I'm taking my money, because they want to put it somewhere else. So again, that's what we're starting to see now. So what's going to be the flavor of the day? I think today it was at some level Netflix, on another level NVIDIA. Is NVIDIA bad? No. But maybe there's enough people that are like, okay, well, that's had its play. It got above 150. That's what we were looking for. We're getting out. We're shifting. We're going to go, excuse me, and put it over somewhere else. That could be happening. They're coming back into Apple today. Apple's back above 230. So now we're eyeing the all-time highs. It's like, well, we're going to push it up there because that's where we want to sell it. I don't know. But my point is, it's like, as these things rotate, I mean, the Russell had another great day. So what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the mid caps. Everybody's got a story to tell. Technically, that story should continue to unfold. But I believe we come down before we shoot up and then go to new all-time highs above 21,340. I think we come down, we get closer to this support at 20,282, turn, hightail it up, and again, it could be just rotating back into things. Then somebody else is going to like, okay, you guys rotated out of NVIDIA, we're coming back. We're rotating in. Today was our day because we're taking the money that we sold over here and we're now going to put it over here. So that's going to continue. And yes, we have seasonality telling us that we might get it through maybe the first or second week of December. And then the market should start to decline. This is what seasonality charts are beginning to tell us. So again, I don't know, is it early? We come down in the C wave, and that's going to be that portion of the seasonality chart, and then we turn and we hightail it. Could. So either way, folks, technically, I think we drop down I got 20,282. That's kind of my bottom line support. Can't say that it absolutely has to hold. We actually do have additional fibs underneath there where it would be 100% at 20,122, and that would be wave C would be 100% of wave A. Most common, 20,122. But if it got down to here and turned, that's actually okay by me because 618, 100, anywhere in between, new low is more important to me than the exact fib level. But we already know that a lot of algorithms are programmed to those fib levels. So to see it should not be a surprise, but to see this one should not be a surprise either, if it holds. So again, I'll be looking for structure. I want to see 5, and I want to see it put in a new low below A. And then we start to rally. Going up, and let's just take a look right now. On the hourly, the moving averages, well, the 200 period moving average is pretty flat. And actually went flat, got torn through, came back and stayed flat. The 50 is flat. The 20 starting to turn. The 8 down and now flat, ready to turn. Should the market continue to go up? But right now, if we go back down, the 50 will turn, the 200 will stay flat and turn as it gets broken, and this continues. And we're back into where we're looking for it to line up, and it's possible it will, to show us a path that'll go down. But I think we've seen that now switch and flip a couple of times in here. So, but if we saw this over here, we're there. That's fine. And I could think it could be that fast. Just to get it done, rotation over, bam, ding, ding, ding. Other point, trade it. That's the other thing. It is very tradable. Again, if you're an investor, I can feel your pain and I know it. But I'm a day trader and I talk to what I feel a larger is going to be day traders or swing traders or very near-term position traders. You throw in some options positions, you do this and do that. So you get in there and you get out. Lots of trading going on. And again, depends on what you're picking, who you're choosing. ETFs, spiders, Qs, both of them went above triggers this morning. Both of them broke above the call wall early as this thing was shooting for the moon, and then reversed, came back down, left it in place. So again, a lot of activity going on, and it's fun to catch it because you can just stack up your money and call it a good day. So let's go over and take a look at the S&P. S&P is a little bit different because it got a whole lot higher. All right, so this high, the all-time high right now is 6,053. It got up to 6,040 today. I'm like, okay. You can't get any flatter other than going up to that 40 level, or excuse me, that 57 or 58 level, whatever it was. You could, that would make it an absolute flat. You can't. It actually can because it could be an irregular, but I'm not going to be looking for it to do that right here. So again, I'm kind of coming in a little bit with that. The C wave is very strange, but I'm kind of thinking the possibility that it's over. Of course, they're buying this into this extra hour close. All right, so we close it at 5 o'clock Eastern and then reopen again at 6 o'clock Eastern with Globex. So, but if I had to leave it, I'm going to leave it the same way, that I'm looking for that we need to come down, get below 58.55. We have 382 for the minute wave 4, and that comes in at 58.23. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come down, break that low, go down to there, and it's a sealed deal as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, ABC. Now, pretty much a flat. So this is 58.55, 58.23, not that far from it. We're not looking for all that much more, right? If I had That's 53. This was 40. That's 13. And this is 55, and that's 23. If this 13 added onto this or taken off of that, you're looking at 41-ish. And that would be acceptable to me. Coming down in 5 as a C wave, getting close to this, but realizing that it should be more of a flat. I'm not going to say it's not if it goes to 58.23. I would think it's still pretty much a flat, ABC flat. And I'm going to put a 4 there and then look for this thing to go up and then break 60.55. That's the other thing. I believe that for some reason, somewhere out there, there's algorithms that are like, yep, we're on a mission. And the mission is to really put some pressure on that collar. Maybe that's just my brain talking, but I'm thinking that, well, I think they want to test it. And we have many levels above this. We have some that we'll be putting back in. Once 4 is in place, and I can put 1 to 4, and then we get that minute 5. I think it's going to fill in some spaces in here. So I'm thinking, 61, 25, 50, 62, all the way. And I'm not going to say this is not possible. I think it is at a minute wave 5. And then again, minute 5, minor 5, intermediate 3. And then we trigger another little drippy drop. And it will, at that time, I think it'll come again, it'll come down back towards the August 5th lows. Probably below them, but that's the area. All right, so again, in the S&P, we saw a lot of rotation, a lot of more positive rotation coming from a couple of stocks. We continue to see Bitcoin correct. So that's kind of, putting its little things here and there and everywhere else. I still do believe we come down, we finish this minute 4, we go up in a minute wave 5, we finish the 5, minor 5, intermediate 3, we come back down in intermediate 4, finish that, run it back up in an intermediate wave 5, again to new all-time highs there. We're finishing that, we're finishing the primary 5 and a cycle 3. And that, I think, comes in 2025. I think it would be a lot to ask. Market's possible, but it'd be a lot to ask to get it done by the end of December. But you never know. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Now let's just take a quick peek because it is a shortened week, right? Thursday is Thanksgiving. I believe as we progress, we'll get all of this trading will be done within the first hour and a half to 2 hours, and then people leave. And so, the desks they'll still be manned, but there won't be a lot of activity. So it'll just be trading, so to speak, and it could sit in a range. And we'll go with that. Now, tomorrow we have S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Sometimes can have a bop in one way or the other. Consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Eastern, new home sales at 10 a.m. And the minutes of the Fed November meeting come out at 2 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays where it's packed in, because Thursday the market is closed and Friday is half day. And it's also, and there's nothing scheduled for Friday. Now, Wednesday, initial jobless claims, durable goods orders, advanced U.S. trading and advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, GDP, Chicago Business Barometer, personal income, personal spending, PCE index, and pending home sales all come out on Wednesday between 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. So Wednesday we could get some pushes and some movement, but we'll see. Our next update will be on Tuesday, September the 26th.